All right, next job. So we've got some year Caravan here. I haven't seen this thing in quite a few years, to be honest with you. But a customer just gave me the rundown on it. He had a dead battery, replaced it. Car started up, ran fine. But he let it sit for 2 days, and then it was dead as a doornail again, which it is. So we've got ourselves more than likely a parasitic draw here. So we're going to check this thing out. First things first, babe, let's get a, how about you just take the camera from me for a minute? This vehicle's in our system, so we don't really need to worry about that. Tablet would be good on this one, just so I can chase stuff when need be. We're gonna grab a jump box. That doesn't help it. Granted, that's not why it's probably dead, but we're gonna tighten that before we do anything. We gotta do a draw test on it. Come on, we gotta get tools. Ooh, I hope this is charged. Yeah, it's got 2 batteries. All right, we're gonna use our PPDRAW tester. PP. Yeah, I know you'd laugh at that. So, I just want to open the window on the car. So we're going to do this first, confirm it starts, and then we'll start doing that. Whew, Jesus. That's a draw and a half right there. Whew, that was a lot of spark. All right. Golly, that's sparking like crazy. All right, what are y'all's guesses now? Do we guess an alternator? What do we think it's going to be? Because whatever this is, it's got a heavy draw. You are horrible with a camera. Follow me. All right, so PPDRAW tester. So it literally is called PPDRAW, just so y'all know. I'm not making stupid things up, but basically what this does is we plug it into our DLC port here. This has its own battery in it. What we need to do is disconnect the battery, so good thing it's already loose. We put this on smart output. Yeah, I know it's over current right now, buddy. All right, let's go back to settings. We're going to raise this up as high as we can. Wow. Okay, I can't even get anything on it because it's putting out too much current right now. The car is. That's got to be a hell of a draw. Can you get me my thermal point and shoot thing? The thermal camera? All right, we're going to let this sit for a minute. Hopefully some portion of the car will kind of go to sleep for us here so we can get this down into a manageable range. But thermal camera. That's the new little point and shoot. That's a boroscope, babe. Listen, I love you to know. Yes.
What's that though?
That's just a temperature gun.
They both look the same.
I know, but this one's a thermal camera. Yeah, it's not weird. You just don't understand tools. All right, let's see what we got here. Great, not going to see a damn thing. Can you take this? Because I can't see what I'm doing right now. But I do see a lot of temperature down there by that. Watch out. Go on the other side. Can't really see past this radiator hose, but that alternator looks very, very bright in the screen. Can you see it? So if you guys can see it, right, this is the radiator hose right here. That really bright spot in the middle is my alternator. And then you have just this top section of the engine right here, which is right here on the camera. I can't really get a good reading on that because this radiator hose is in the way, but that brightness right there is my alternator. I don't know if that's really the problem, but I just wanted to do a visual on it because usually when we have something that is putting out such a high current as this, that usually means that's the issue. So we're going to disconnect it for now. Take this. Actually, we're going to disconnect it for now and see if we can get a better reading out of this thing. I don't know if this goes to the alternator or that goes to the alternator. No. I need to get to the alternator, but the fan's in the way. Let's just get a 13. Good gravy, that's a lot of freaking power on that. All right, there we go. We're coming back down. Okay, so I want to let this get to where it needs to. Now we actually have somewhat of a reading. It's not a great reading, it's still pretty high. So we need to allow the car to kind of go to sleep now, which will take a little bit of time. While it does that, I'm going to get down to the alternator, I think, and see what we can do. Because we need to be certain that the alternator is doing it or something else. And I got to take it out of its circuit. So yeah, let's grab the tablet. There might be a fuse or something in between that maybe I could take off directly at for the alternator. That way we can take it out of the circuit. Let's just go look on the big computer while that sits there for a second. Let's get the customer's info. What's his name?
I just know Hayes.
I know, but I don't know which one. Might have been, oh, here, Kim. 954, right?
Yep.
I don't have a VIN number on this vehicle. All right, 2014 Caravan. Let's get it pulled up. All right, so Ray, nope. All right, so there's no main 10 amp, no main fuse in between that and here. It goes directly to the starter and then to the battery. So I'm gonna have to disconnect. The problem is if I disconnect at the generator or at the alternator, I'm still hooked up to the starter. But that should be fine, because if I disconnect the alternator and it goes away, that tells me the starter's fine. All right, we're gonna do that and go from there. That way we can at least rule that out and get it out of the equation, because like I said, this thing's pulling more than like 10 amps. Yeah, right now I'm down to 195 milliamps right now. So I've got to let the car do its thing, but I got to disconnect that alternator, I think. Possibly. I don't want to if it's not the problem. I don't want to waste my time on it. It's still pretty hot, but not that hot. It's hard to tell with the sun beating down on the car. Can you set the umbrella up, because it's making the contact surface of this too hot, and I can't use the thermal thing well enough, good enough. Come on. I'm gonna have to disconnect the tool in order to get down to that alternator to safely unplug it. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Get off me. All right. Alternator is successfully unhooked from the power side. All right, I'm gonna plug the tool back in. Okay. So definitely have a problem with that alternator. We got to let the vehicle sit and go to sleep, because now we're down at 1.7 amps. If you remember the beginning, only 2 seconds ago, that we had overcurrent. So hooked this back up. Alternator is unplugged at the moment. It's definitely not cooling down on temperature. It wasn't that hot. It was only like 100 degrees, but based on the thermal, it's enough for me to check. But let's move this over a little more. We're going to let this thing do its deal. Yeah, 220 milliamps now, 190 milliamps. Okay, we're going to let this sit for however long it takes and wait to see if the system goes to sleep. And then what I'll do is I'll touch that wire back on the alternator and see if it spikes. If it does, then we need an alternator. So that was pretty quick on this one. So I'm glad I have that tool to see that it ended up being very high current immediately. And having a thermal, bruh, let me tell you what. All right, I'll see you guys in a few. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes or so. I was busy trying to make a TikTok video, and we're good. We are down to 10 milliamps. So we were right off the bat. It needs an alternator. Now, what I'm going to do, I want you to tell me what that says. So I want you to hold this. I'm going to plug in, I'm just going to touch the alternator to the stud down here. I want to see if that jumps. If I can get my hand on it without killing myself. Give me a second here, guys. Anything? Over current. And now I just disconnected it. It just woke the car up, that's why.
Okay.
Okay, so there you have it. With the battery disconnected and the alternator disconnected or hooked up, we're pulling that draw. So it's pretty common. You guys know it. You've seen it a bazillion times. I just wanted to give it to you firsthand and show you real life on how it is. So definitely get you a thermal camera and you'll be all right. You'll be able to check those things like that. Because you could use this on too is when you have relays that you think are running a circuit or something like that, you can get the heat off of the relay too. It's really good. Or like a module inside the dash where you can't really get to it. You can put that on there. And if it flares up and goes crazy, then you know what you're dealing with. So anyway, we're out of here. We're going to head on to our next job. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you there.